right. Hope everybody is having a good Wednesday. It's not just any old boring Wednesday in July, because if it's a boring Wednesday, you're not sitting on the field of the most iconic crazy circus brand in the NFL. But that's exactly where we are sitting today, because we're at Jerry World, baby. In fact, they even put us just in the end zone. We are already scoring on Chad and Zay. We're going to tell you about Big 12 Media Days and see if we can get you all kinds of information today and maybe some cool interviews as well. Let's go. Chad and Zay with you. I'm Chad Hastings, and he is the one and only and ready for a season, Isaiah Collier. What's up, Zay?
Chad, what's poppin'? Great to be here. Big 12 Media Days, my first time at Jerry World. It's a beautiful place here.
Dude,
very impressed.
Dude, we're sitting in the end zone.
Oh, man, so dope.
Realize that we're sitting like lined up with the Y in Cowboys.
Yeah.
In an end zone.
Yeah, this should be the spot where Tony Pollard has at least 15 touchdowns.
Oh, I like that idea.
You like that?
I like that idea.
At least.
At least. Oh, no, minimum. That's a minimum. I like that over. Let me go over on 15 times into the end zone for Tony Pollard. That would be excellent. Big 12 Media Days cranked up a little bit earlier. If you've been listening, you have heard from all kinds of Longhorn folks. In fact, how about this? For the first time ever, since we have been covering Big 12 Media Days, the station was able to get the head coach and all players on the air in one show.
Amazing.
That is what Light the Tower pulled off today, and that also helps when they told us that the window for Texas, hey, 10 to 10:30. When I saw that, I thought, okay, they'll walk right to Craig Way and at least get a Sark, and then it just kept coming. They had Sark, followed by the clean-cut, leaner, meaner Quinn Ewers.
Oh, he looks good. Got the cowboy boots and everything.
Absolutely.
He looks ready.
Dude, and you know what? A little bit more of one of those guys that feels like when you see him in person, you're like, whoa, it's a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big dude.
Yeah.
He looks really good. And then follow that up with his roommate and buddy Xavier Worthy. Follow that up with Whittington. And then by the end of the show, they talked to both defensive guys too.
Yo, amazing. Absolutely great interviews. Catch that on Light the Tower, hornfm.com, where you find the rest of our podcast posts. And, yeah, seeing Sark, he looked confident. And Texas Longhorns, all the circus that you mentioned that's going on around here, they got a huge bullseye on their back because everybody knows what that roster is bringing. Everybody knows what the media said about picking them to win the conference, and it's very exciting. So, yeah, you got to embrace that.
Yeah.
Bullseye on your back, and it seems like this Texas Longhorns team is doing that.
It's always so much fun to be here, get to see some people in the business that we know and talk to them. I just introduced you to Newey Scruggs, one of my favorite guys in all of sports.
Yeah, and great guy.
And I was dumb enough to ask him to do the Shaq impersonation because it's my favorite. It was a pretty damn good Shaq,
it's
right?
way better than mine.
Oh, dude.
It's way better than mine.
It's incredible. Love Newey Scruggs from NBC5 in Dallas. We've had him on the shows plenty of times. So, as we sit here, again, on the field, they are getting ready for Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12. And I think he may be already speaking a little bit to the people. Our man Jack Farrell is watching things back in the studio. Jack, can we bring the people? Oh, he's just pacing back and forth, Brett Yormark. Can we bring the people a little Brett Yormark and see how confident he sounds today? The commish. Come on, commish. Fancy suit.
I got him live. I have y'all killed right now.
Go.
30 players selected, plus 10 from our incoming members. The Big 12 was the only conference to have at least half of its teams produce a first-round pick.
This is weird. Just pacing, just reading it off like a crappy folded paper.
Athletic year, conference teams won.
Yeah, y'all are clear for now. Let me know when y'all want me to bring you back up.
Additionally, Big 12 student athletes claimed 23 individual national titles. As many of you know,
this job, they just showed the Kansas. Chad,
background.
could they have made the Kansas any bigger on these Kansas uniforms?
Guidance of many people that helped coach me through my first year. And heading into year 2, I still have a lot to learn. One of the steadiest hands that has helped me along the way is former Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby. He has left a lasting legacy, not only for this conference, but for college athletics. And in recognition of his contributions, the Big 12 Board of Directors established the Bob Bowlesby Award. The award will be
Looks like you have an apple leasing
as selected by the conference's athletics director.
sinus and snoring,
The
but
top
that's later on in the show.
and male athletes of the Big 12. As the conference's highest honor, it is presented to the male and female athlete that best represents the characteristics of leadership and excellence on and off the field of competition. This year's winners of the inaugural Bob Bowlesby Award are Ashley Jones, Iowa State women's basketball, and Max Duggan, TCU football. Let's give them
Let me know when you want to do it. Right now, they're giving him a hand. Go.
Each will be formally recognized by Bob and presented with their award at a home game this season. In addition to the great success we've had on the field, we've also built tremendous momentum off it. We've accomplished a lot over the last 11 plus months. Everything we did could not have been accomplished without the incredible support of a lot of people. I'm so fortunate to have a great staff at the Big 12. And I also appreciate the support of the conference's 4 governance groups, presidents, ADs, which many are here today, and thank you guys for your incredible support, FARs, and SWAs. I would like to thank outgoing Board of Directors Chair Lawrence Skubanek for his guidance, support, his wisdom, and most importantly, for his incredible friendship. And I'd also like to welcome incoming Board Chair Linda Livingstone. Let's not forget, during last year's Media Days event, I announced that the Big 12 was open for business.
Oh, I didn't have to UConn here.
We jumped ahead of the line and extended TV agreements with existing partners in 2031, creating tremendous stability and clarity for this conference. We accelerated Texas and OU withdrawal, which was a win-win for all parties. We completed an organizational redesign. We formed a business advisory board made up of some of the finest C-level executives in this country. We announced Big 12 Pro Day with our partner, the NFL. We hosted our first ever business summit, which was a collaboration among our member institutions to share best practices. We announced Big 12 Mexico. We brought our commercial business in-house. We introduced enhancements to our championship events throughout the year by tapping into influencers, connecting with culture, and establishing premium offerings, all while driving incremental revenue for our member institutions.
Mike's up.
We've written
the Big 12 commissioner. Thought we'd give you a little bit of that. He did get to that brag involving Texas and Oklahoma. Interesting way to say it there,
Yeah,
Zay.
win-win for everybody.
The win-win. I mean, I agree. We talked about it. Do you really want – I asked people here last year, do y'all really want to come back here twice? You really want to come back here twice as lame ducks? One time is one thing, but thankfully it doesn't have to happen next year. So I agree with where he's going there. And, Zay, I've just got to tell you, we need to make sure we are giving the people the full vibe. Because even though he just talked about a Bob Bowlesby award, he's doing something Bob Bowlesby never thought of doing. Standing on that stage in a suit, he's just pacing back and forth like he's, Steve Jobs trying to pump up some computer nerds. Right. He is laying out all the stuff. He is a confident man, just like he was last year, but he feels even more confident this year.
Well, I know you're a big-time Beverly Hills Cop fan. Brett Yormark looks like the villain from Beverly Hills Cop, the bald. Where Eddie just walked up in there and he didn't give a damn if they were eating or not, and he threw the bodyguard against the tray of all the food and stuff like that. Brett Yormark, he looks like a villain right now, and to a lot of Texas fans, he might be a villain. But, yeah, they're not done, even though they got UCF, Cincinnati, BYU, and Houston in the mix with Texas and OU leaving. We know they're not done. You hear the rumblings around the Pac-12, what teams could fall to them. And he's going to be really aggressive. He's going to be aggressive basketball-wise, looking at somebody like a Gonzaga. You hear about San Diego State. So, yeah, Brett Yormark in the Big 12, even though it will be 12 in the 2024 season, they're not good with that. They're
Yeah.
not cool with that. They're trying to get as many as possible. And, yeah, you got to be aggressive this age of college sports.
So are you telling me that Brett Yormark's getting his Victor Maitland on right now?
That's it, Victor Maitland.
Little Victor Maitland? Does that mean he's calling somebody on a secret phone saying, Texas and OU are on the grounds? Oh, my goodness. I never thought of Victor Maitland. That's fantastic. All right, so Brett Yormark is going Victor Maitland on that stage right now, laying it out for the Big 12. In terms of the schedule today, we told you that the Texas players and Steve Sarkisian were able to go on with Light the Tower. So in our little window here, they got Brett Yormark now. They want everybody focused on him. Come on about 1:30 to 2 o'clock. That window is supposed to be Oklahoma State, and we think that's Oklahoma State players. And then 2:30 to 3, BYU players and maybe the coach. We'd love to talk to Coach Sataki if we can. One of those new members of the new members of the Big 12 this year. BYU and Houston are the two that are here today. Coach Holgerson was making the rounds earlier. We did talk to Sonny Dykes and ask the question, and he may come back over here and talk to us. We talked to him last year, Zay, and it was, year one for him. I asked him about going across the skillet rivalry from SMU to TCU, and heck of a year one.
Yeah.
For Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, to say the least. It's going to be an interesting year, too, for him because all the guys that he had go to the NFL draft, from Max Duggan to Quentin Johnston, you think about Hodges Tomlinson. He had a lot of studs there, and it's going to be tough to replace. But, hey, Chandler Morris, he was supposed to be the starter in 2022. Mm-hmm. We know what happened there, and if he could come back and be that guy that a lot of people think he can, then, hey, I'm kind of with you. TCU can make some noise this year and surprise a lot of folks.
Yeah, they're an interesting team to me. Certainly, here's the way I'll say it. Of the teams we're dealing with today, because K-State is tomorrow, because Oklahoma is tomorrow, I think the next most dangerous team to pay attention to outside of Texas is TCU. Of this group today, I'll give him the respect to say it's them. By the way, back to the respect for Brett Yormark, a.k.a. Victor Maitland. He's got a hype video going now for the Big 12 to let everybody know what his conference is pulling off. Brett Yormark flexing before his Big 12 media right now.
Yeah, and the solid hype video. In the last clip that I saw a little Kevin Durant, Vince Young. Got to have a few grades. Robert Griffin III, you know, definitely a few grades up there.
And remember some of the history. Isn't Yormark the guy that had history with like Las Vegas and some prize fighting and stuff? Isn't that him? No, he's the one that had he had a little Vegas history, but didn't he also worked with, didn't he work with Jay-Z at some point?
Oh, yeah, that's
was
right.
Was a part of the Rock Nation thing at one point.
Barclays.
Worked in the NBA.
Brooklyn Nets.
There you go. Worked in the NBA and had that. Again, he walked in last year with a cool, slick feel to him, and he's got it going on today as well with the Big 12. So, obviously, 14 teams in this year's Big 12. Now, let's lay out the first indication that Texas and OU are headed to the SEC. Y'all know that the crap bag is going to let you know all the little details. My OCD takes over when I get to a place like this. I already pointed this out to Zay. We've already gotten his thoughts on a video we'll put out, but I'll get him
Chad trying to start stuff, y'all.
Y'all know I like to – I'm not trying to start stuff. I'm just laying out the facts, and y'all do with it what you will. Texas fans, here's the story. Off to the left where we sit, and everything is down on one end. We're in this end zone. They put all the media down here. There's stuff kind of in the middle where Yormark is now, but basically everything's down on our end of the field. And right over to our left is where the breakout sessions are going to be this afternoon, and it starts with TCU. Makes sense. They played for the Big 12 championship trophy, which is out in front of us. They played for the Natty trophy, which is also out in front of us on the field. Then it's the two newbies, Houston and BYU. I know you're wondering, Longhorn fans, where are you? Well, you're not at the 50 because that's where Baylor is. All the way down at the other 15-yard line, that's where Texas is, all the way down by where the media meal is being served. So, Zay, in case you need a little more chip on that shoulder about how they're treating you here with the Big 12 last run, they put you all the way down at the other end.
By the food.
By the food.
We're the closest to the food, so I don't think it's as bad as you're talking about.
You think they did that on purpose?
Yeah.
Do you think Quinn Ewers and X and Ford asked them to get us by the food?
I heard Quinn Ewers talking to Craig and Jeff Howe about his diet, so he might have to take it easy a little bit. You saw the bodies with the quarterbacks, though. Like that, the diet's right now. You can't go crazy like you and I will be when we hit that buffet later on.
Absolutely. By the way, Quinn's looking really good.
Oh, looking sharp.
Just lean and mean, get taller than you think, a little more of a presence, got that lean, mean thing going on. By the way, let's stop right there because Quinn Ewers did mention today, great interview with Craig and Jeff, He mentioned, Craig said, what have you been staying away from? He said, I've been staying away from Chick-fil-A. Got to stay away from it.
Man, that's tough.
Okay, Quinn, let me give you a little coaching here. I wasn't able to coach him now. I'm telling you now, Mr. Ewers, it's not that you need to stay away from Chick-fil-A. You just got to know where to go on that menu. You got to stay away from number one, and you got to stay away from that fried stuff. Two things, though, that I still hit at Chick-fil-A, and I can still keep some weight under control. Remember, they've got grilled nuggets.
The grilled nuggets are on point.
Rod Babers has made fun of them in the past, but they are fantastic. Rod Babers likes to talk about the bigoted bites of joy. The grilled version is unbelievable. Plus, number 8 on that menu is a grilled wrap.
Damn, you know about numbers?
I get the number 8. I take the tortilla off and do it as a lettuce wrap and add that avocado lime dressing. You're good, Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
Don't get a soda. I'll go Powerade or maybe go water or lemonade. Don't go with the soda, obviously. But I didn't want Chick-fil-A to come out of this as the bad guy. They've got good stuff. Quinn just needs to go over. He needs to go to the second and third read.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There we go.
He went with the hot route.
Yeah, and we know he struggled with that a little bit last year.
Right.
And we saw the first
Right.
read just
I need him to.
completely looking at
Right.
that first read, which is most of the
'Cause-
time Xavier Worthy. Let's look at the second and third. I'm with you there.
Let's extend it to a football analogy because for me, that number 8 combo and the grilled nuggets, that's Jatavian Sanders going wide open up the seam. Nobody's thinking about it, and then boom, it's a fantastic meal. So shout out to Chick-fil-A and shout out to Quinn Ewers. He is looking